Hello, my lovely whisperers. I'm trying to see if this is actually showing up as a live broadcast. Apparently, it is. And I'm on my phone to see if it is, and I can't see it. So I'm going to check my computer. Yeah, there it is. Fantastic. Oh, yay. Okay. So I'm not sure who's going to show up. I put a little event thing out there. And so people will show up when they show up. And I'm here to share some really cool new good news. And it all affects Whispers. And as a matter of fact, we're about to have a big overhaul. So I might be showing my age a little bit with this one, but remember that iconic line, those lines that Sophia on Golden Girls used to say, and she'd say, picture it. And then she'd say 19, whatever, and she'd start with a great story about her life. And so I want you to picture it. Wichita Falls, May 2019. I was at a new members lunch at the Chamber of Commerce, and I was on a mission to find someone who could work some handy magic around my house. I had just moved here from Southern California, and I asked advice from a staff member at this little luncheon. And to my surprise, her answer was rants and raves. Well, looking back, I had a gut feeling that it wasn't quite my cup of tea. And boy, I was right. Now, don't get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. I'm not here to throw shade at rants and raves. Totally not, and have never done that intentionally. But let's be real. My life, and if you spend any time on this group, you know it's about embracing positivity. As a matter of fact, I get a lot of flack for that, interestingly enough. And it's about uplifting people, vibes, whatever you want to call it. So guess what? That place was not radiating those kind of vibes. And if you spend time there, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not, as I said, I'm not here to throw shade on rants. A lot of you love it over there, which is fantastic. It's just not my cup of tea, and it's not the vision that I established for here. So in moments like those, when you can't find what you're looking for, what do? I've had people on this group say we should have X, Y, or Z. And my response is always, well, start that because you have the capacity and the capabilities to do that. There's a fly in here. It's hilarious. I shut the door hoping the fly was going to be on the outside. Not happening. Well, so what do you do when you find yourself that you need something and it's not available? You roll up your sleeves and you create it yourself. So I hope you'll stay to the end of this to hear about a story about one of our members who made a decision to create something that we didn't have here, and now it's just come to fruition in a very short amount of time. But I'm going to tell you that story in a little bit. It was on that day back then in 2019 that this little tiny spark of the idea of Wichita Whispers was born. It was a few more months before it came to fruition because I spend a lot of time on naming, and I'm going to talk about the naming of Wichita Whispers here in a second. But on August 26, 2019, Whispers was born. That's amazing to me. 4 years later, here we are. I was hoping to have this little group of 500 people or so and ask questions about where I can find, drywall people. But you know what? It's hard to believe that it's been 4 years since the birth of Wichita Whispers. Time flies. I'm just checking my computer to see. I don't know if there's anybody on because I have it on a streaming service. So honestly, if you ask questions, it might show up. I'm not sure. But time flies when you're surrounded by such incredible community, which is what I always talk about with this community. How amazing it is. But there's about 28,000 members now. And for those of you that don't know the story behind the name, because it took me a minute to be very clear about how I wanted to name Wichita Whispers, I want to give you a quick version of what actually happened. I've spent my entire life listening to these gentle whispers, the ones from your heart, from your soul, from the universe, from God, from beyond. I know you know what that little whisper is. But here is the kicker. You can only hear those whispers when you hush out the noise around you. Have you ever noticed that? So I was actually dreaming at that point of a place, a haven really, because honestly, I'm not a big social media fan at all, to be honest with you. I don't even want to go because that's a negative energy. But I dreamt of this place, this haven, where we could share our amazing community stories without the static of this mostly usual, I guess, social media noise drowning out these whispers, these really quiet whispers, where you can hear the good and you can hear the directions, you can hear the intuitive thoughts. But here's the thing, those noises and distractions can be so deafening, especially on social media, that you can't hear the good. But interestingly enough, even though they only represent a tiny fraction, even in this group of our amazing members, a little tiny piece, they get so loud. They've jumped into my DMs. They've been on my business pages. They're in the group, saying things that are not nice. But, it's funny because I guess imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I've been flattered a bunch by copycat Wichita Whispers groups. If you search Wichita Whispers, there's all these people that have started the groups called Wichita Whispers, really as a direct attempt to hurt my feelings and use that name that was really special to me because I created it based on that idea of those whispers that are so quiet that you have to drown out that noise to hear them. So these other groups have popped up, and I thought even one called themselves the original, which I thought was kind of cute. But the fact is that they're not there with the same intention. And so I think it's interesting because my whole focus is heart-centered about this group. So if these people, they were not wanting to share this vision clearly, most of them leave. That's fine with me. And some of you may leave after this live because you're going to hear that I'm doubling down on the positivity. But guess what? I heard another whisper lately. And I live my life by that direction. Truly, it's told me twice to come to Wichita Falls, and here I am again. But it's time for a change. This whisper has told me that it's time for a change for whispers. I've been really very steadfastly staying true to my original vision with this group. And even if it meant that some folks weren't on board, I get that. Because I get that there are people that don't really understand my vision or the way that I think. And so part of that's my fault for not explaining it a lot more clearly and staying connected more than I did in the very beginning. Because in the beginning, I was posting, of course, they were all scheduled posts, but I was posting all these positive memes and wonderful things and staying focused. And life got busy. But here's the thing is our world is evolving at an astounding pace, in case you haven't noticed. I'm going to read those comments in a minute because I don't have my glasses on. I can't read them. And our community is right in the thick of things. And you know what? I want this group to be the absolute best, the best, positive, loving, supportive community group on all of Facebook. Because even Facebook deletes posts that I don't ever see. I mean, they apparently have their own community standard. But the thing is that's why I want to up-level this. I want to take us to the next place. So mark your calendars, because on our anniversary, August 27th, which is right around the corner, Wichita Whispers is getting a fabulous makeover. So what does that mean? It's still going to be a community group. I wouldn't take it away. Well, the only reason I would take it away is if I stepped away, and I could not leave this group without my guidance, because I can assure you that it would take 5 seconds for it to turn into just another negative community group. I assure you that. But I'm doubling down. Here's what I'm doubling down on: the love, the community, the abundance, and positivity. And with that, we're going to have a name change, because honestly, people have taken the Whispers name and made it something that it really truly isn't. But you know what? I got this whisper, and it's enchanting me. It really truly is. The word is spark. I'm so loving this whole idea of spark. That whisper that came to me has been coming over and over and over, actually tickling my imagination with this word spark. And in Spanish, I love Mexico, and I'm spending a lot of time there. La chispa. Oh, it just rolls off your tongue, and it sounds so wonderful and magical. But picture this. We're going to spark positive conversations instead of sparking those negative conversations. Because just when I got on here this afternoon, I saw another post about something. I'm not even going to dive into that right now, but it just gets people being negative or shaming people or calling things what they really truly aren't. But sparking these conversations about our community, igniting posts full of amazing recommendations, and kindling the fires of inspiration and motivation, because those are the things that are going to absolutely take your life to another level. And so I want you not to forget about the spark that lights up this group when we celebrate new businesses, or at least it should be doing that, because a lot of times new businesses come here and they're being so berated by, well, people in the community, but those people are going to find another home rather than this new group, because I want to uplift every single person, every business, every entity. And when you see people doing things you don't love, let's find out how we can make it better, rather than just going, rrr, rrr, rrr. That's not right. These moments of gratitude that will show up in a bigger way are going to inspire everyone to have the life of your dreams. I really think it's so important to live your best life. And so with this new name, Spark, I'm recommitting to curate this space that's filled only with those posts and comments that breathe life into our values, into this vision. And those values are encouragement, positivity, hope, and love. Because love, if every post and every comment you ever make, makes me cry, comes from love, comes from your heart, you can't do it wrong. But if it comes from a place of judgment or criticism or negativity or shaming, it doesn't support anybody. So I'm not going to keep you all here all day, because, I know you got things to do, but I do want to give you the lowdown on things that have shown up over time that aren't a great fit for our cozy little corner of the internet. So I'm beginning to think of this cozy corner, just this little space, this little haven, this little sanctuary of goodness, because that is the vision for this group. And the mindset behind why I take down the comments and the posts that I do, or the admins have been instructed, or they're on board with the vision. But that's just, I want to give you a couple of examples, and I'll share more at another time, because I'm going to start doing these lives on a regular basis, and you can ask questions. You can really get a handle on what's in my head, and just understand why Wichita Whispers, soon to be, you're going to name it something with Spark. I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But there was a recent post that I did, basically saying we're not going to take any more fast food posts, basically, because every time a fast food post comes up, people they go to a bad place. And honestly, I guess I think it's fast food, people. Really, folks, it's just fast food. We're all about lifting each other up, not tearing down places or people that really depend on you as a community to support them. So holding on to your right to denigrate another, or holding on to your right to denigrate a business, is just not what we're about. And holding on to your right to be negative is not saying there's no free speech. It's just saying we don't support that. That's it. And so there's been things like debates on Walmart and other businesses in our community. But I want you to remember something, that kindness costs nothing. And your words, as simple as they may be, they carry more weight than you know. And sometimes it's about perspective. Because if you think about it, that place that you're bashing might be a lifeline for someone else. Some other person in the community. It could be a lifeline for the person that's working at that company, or supporting that company, or owning that company. I mean, it's so important to begin to recognize how your words affect so much, including your thoughts and your feelings. And the easiest way for me to say this is, let's not play the judgment game. Let's say someone's asking for a daycare recommendation, or they're trying to find help with a state agency, or they're just making a simple request for help finding help of some kind. There's absolutely no reason why we need to interrogate them about why they need what they need if they're asking for it. I see that so often. And I think they wouldn't be putting themselves out there and being vulnerable if they hadn't already thought about that for themselves. And if you want to be their coach and you want to help them live their best life in a certain way, then offer that. But don't accuse them of why do you want to do it that way? Because I'm assuming that most people on here are grown-ups. There might be a couple of kids, but I don't think you're supposed to have Facebook accounts if you're not. So let's make this a space where you can share without feeling like you're under a microscope, and just answer their question if you have the answer, if you have the recommendation. And then don't shine that interrogation light on them, because I can tell you it doesn't feel very good. My whole vision of being here in Wichita Falls revolves around one beautiful idea. One, uplifting this community and living your best lives. But I want to show you how to make it happen. And I know that some of you may not have caught wind of it yet, but I've got a fantastic community over on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel all about Wichita Falls, because I love Wichita Falls. And if you spend any time on that YouTube channel, you might want to think that that's, a little too sugary, because I love it here. It's a place dedicated to embracing living your absolute best life, which is exactly what I want for each and every one of you. So before I go down that road a little bit further, I want to take you back a bit, because back before I before cancer came knocking at my door, before this journey led me back to Wichita Falls, I used to be an abundance teacher and coach. I traveled across the globe sharing these incredible principles of living this life filled with abundance. And no, I'm not just talking about overnight riches. That's not what I'm talking about. Of course, that could be possible too. What I'm talking about is reshaping your thoughts and transforming your life into that very dream that you've held in your heart and you're not telling anybody about it. So these past 4 years have been a profound journey for me. I've been practicing those very principles that I taught, because when I got sick, I got broke. And after facing that rock bottom financially, so I really understand when someone says they can't pay their water bill or their electric bill if bad things happen to you. And emotionally, while recovering from cancer, I had a lot of time to reflect. And many of you may know that, or many of you may know me as a realtor is how you actually say that word. I get in trouble all the time from realtors for not saying it right. You might know me as a mortgage professional or a real estate investor, or simply as the founder of Wichita Whispers. But deep down in my heart, my true calling has always been that of a teacher and a guide to help you, to help the planet create and know that you can create anything and everything that your heart desires. Anything. And you know what? It's time for me to embrace that passion once again and create what I was put on this planet to do. So here's something really important to remember. Just because we're in a community with one of the lowest cost of living in America, which I say all the time on my YouTube channel, it doesn't mean you have to settle for anything less than extraordinary. Anything less than an extraordinary life. So if you're not living an extraordinary life, there's something you can do to change that. And so I decided that part of this new group dynamic will be that I'm going to launch a special live series called Sparking Your Abundance. And here's the magic. Anyone, any of you, absolutely any of you can do it. It's all about having the right tools and the mindset to make those dreams a reality. And here's the good news. It's going to be live on Whispers, which is not going to be Whispers then. And hello, free. So if you're saying that you can't, or you have blocks or any of that, just show up and begin to change and transform your life, just like we're changing and transforming this group. So I just want to share a few parting thoughts that you Whispers, soon to be something else, are absolutely the best. And so speaking of the best, I want to share a really quick shining example of exactly what I'm talking about, is that when you have an idea and something's not where you want it to be or what you want it to be, you make it yourself. My niece, Jennifer, she's one of our admins in this group. She recently embarked on an incredible journey with her dream, the Curious Minds School. It's not just a school, it's a dream come true. And they had their first day yesterday. And I want to tell you, it's nothing short of amazing. And I hope you'll take a moment to learn about the Curious Minds, because, who doesn't have a curious mind? They have a Facebook page, so it's really easy to put in Curious Minds. But you're not going to be disappointed. And the story of Curious Minds is a testament to the power of deciding what you want and manifesting it into reality. Just like Whispers was born out of recognizing a need, Jennifer and a team of phenomenal educators brought forth this remarkable school in, oh my gosh, I don't even say record time. It was so fast it made your head swim. But it's a shining jewel now in our community. And it's a symbol that when you set your heart on something, incredible things happen. amazing things happen. And I want to celebrate those type of wins. This community is so full of them, and we don't spend enough time celebrating them. So in each live that I'm going to do going forward, we're going to focus on a member or a member company who has overcome great odds and is now thriving. So let this journey begin. I am so excited. I want to ignite that spark of abundance within each and every one of us and watch as it ripples through our lives. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about what's about to happen in this incredible community. The future is so bright and the best is yet to come. And another thing is we've created a nonprofit it's called One Block at a Time for this group and for the community, obviously, but it's dedicated to helping those needing to get over a temporary hump. I was sharing about somebody that couldn't pay their water bill or their electric bill. This isn't for getting that assistance over and over and over. And it's modeled after something that Rotary does in California. So people that need something, but they need a one time to get over, not a hand out, a hand up, to get to wherever they are. I am so excited about this. And we're going to be on Texoma Give. So if you are looking for a great charity, nonprofit to give on Texoma Gives, give to One Block at a Time, which we will feed off of Whispers to give to our community members. I'm going to dive really deeply too on these lives into the art and science of positivity. I said early in this live that I get a lot of flack for being positive, unicorns, rainbows, rose-colored glasses. And, the good news is that doesn't bother me, but that is so scientifically based. And I'm going to share with you how this little brain works, how your mind works, how this affects everything in your body, because this amazing thing called positivity creates so much good in your life, and it'll have this amazing creating uplifting content and foster an environment where we all flourish. And the thing that I'm going to leave you with tonight is you can start this journey by embracing forgiveness. So I every day forgive the people that are shaming people on social media and saying things that really don't have any place in a life that is about finding the best in everything. So that forgiveness is really a great tool, and it is a tough journey sometimes, but it can change your life and this world for the better. So my amazing, amazing whisperers, I may not call you much that anymore. I want you to embrace this exciting new chapter and join me as we transform Wichita Whispers into a spark for good, a place where the magic of positivity and uplifting energy thrives. So I want to talk about the name. Drum roll. I haven't chosen the name because I believe that this should be part of our community choice. And that new name will be chosen by you through a member vote. And those options so far, but they all have to have the word spark in them. So I've got, and I'm going to do a survey after this call, Spark in the Falls, Falls Spark, or the Falls Spark. It's a little play on speak too, but so the voting kicks off tonight. Get ready to light up the falls with spark, because this is, to me, the foundation of the good that's inherent in this community, that has always been inherent in this community. And if you spend any time, as I said, on my YouTube channel, you know that that's been an overriding energy, feeling of this community is the people and the kindness and the generosity. And we're about to go into hotter than hell. So I want to share with you that this is such a great opportunity for us to show the world again how amazing and wonderful and magical we are here in Wichita Falls. Okay, I don't know. There's people already that made some really fun comments that are going to disappear. All right, you guys, you have a blessed night, and I will see you on the flip side.